Hey everybody, welcome to House 6, our movie podcast about movies. We are continuing our journey through best pictures of Oscar, and that one tonight is All the King's Men from 1949. So guys, we've made it to the end of the 40s. How would you describe this movie in 3 words or less?
Mm,
I have my 3 words, but then
Yeah.
I was gonna say, is Humpty Dumpty 1 or 2 words? This isn't my 3 words, but I was gonna say nothing about Humpty Dumpty. I guess you could say
Nothing
nothing
about
about Humpty. That's kind of
Yeah.
funny. No, mine was Bloody Wet Willie.
Mine was We Want Willie.
It's all Willy stuff.
You okay, boss? Question mark.
I'd say ladies love power.
Sure.
All right. So, a little about the awards. The 22nd Academy Awards were held on March 23rd, 1950 at the RKO Panages Theater. If you ever seen this one, it looks tiny. If you ever look at a picture, but it's got like this big old theater hall. It's weird. It was hosted by actor Paul Douglas. The Heiress was nominated for 8 Oscars and took home 4. All the King's Men won for Best Picture and 2 acting awards, but failed to take home Best Director. The only other
Which is
film to
rare.
manage that. What?
Which is rare.
Oh yeah, the only other film to manage that was Shakespeare in Love in 1998. Other films nominated for Best Picture include Battleground, A Letter for Three Wives, and 12 O'Clock High. The Italian film Bicycle Thieves won a special foreign language film award. Best cartoon went to the Pepe Le Pew short for Sentimental Reasons, and that was the first appearance of Penelope Cat. So, the movie All the King's Men from Columbia Pictures, written, directed, and produced by Robert Rossen. So he did all that, and he didn't even win the stupid director award. Was based on a novel by Robert Penn Warren, and loosely based on the Louisiana politician Huey Long. The film stars Broderick Crawford as Willie Stark, who would win Best Actor for the part. John Ireland, a Canadian actor mostly known for westerns, and Mercedes McCambridge in her film debut as Sadie, in which she won Best Supporting Actress. McCambridge would go on to voice the demon from The Exorcist.
Oh, Pazuzu.
Yeah.
That was her.
Yeah, that was her. The starring role was offered to John Wayne, but he turned it down and would actually lose Best Actor to Crawford that year.
And a much better film, if I'm completely honest with you, but whatever.
It took 2 editors to save this film, which had been bloated up to 250 minutes.
God.
And both of the editors were nominated for an Oscar. The film was an instant critical and financial success. So, guys, we usually start off with the actors. Main actor, Crawford, who played Willie Stark. What do you think about old Willie in his performance in this one?
Old Willie Whittishins.
I would say it would have been weird with John Wayne in it. It would have been
Yeah, that would have been very interesting. I think he did actually a really good job in acting wise. Like even just his expressions he had a lot of the time were very telling, rather than him like trying to be bombastic. He would just look at someone and be like, "Oh, that's a very, very aware presence of like his whole features, his face, everything." He did a really good job that way. But yeah, the character itself, I'm like, I don't really care about in the slightest, but I think the performance was really good.
I think he was perfect fit for this. He just seems like a greasy politician kind of guy. Anyone else want to talk about old Willie?
Yeah, he was okay. Again, John Wayne did a much better job as God, what was his name? Sergeant. It's Sands of Iwo Jima. That's a really good movie, and that's like one of his best roles. And the fact that he lost to this guy is like, yeah, that kind of sucks. Also, The Third Man came out during this same time, and that completely got overlooked. It was just like, So,
I don't think I've ever seen a John Wayne movie.
Really?
What?
Yeah. Not that I
It's
can
a
think of.
searcher's
I'll say The Searchers,
Need to watch the John Wayne's
Stagecoach.
movie
It's
sometime.
like the rare one where he kind of plays not a
Big-
great guy.
well, that one's great because it's based on a real story too. So,
Jared,
really,
any thoughts on Willie?
Not really.
No.
Wooly
okay.
Willy.
The other guy, Jack, John Ireland's character, he's kind of, I don't know, he starts off as a newspaper man and just kind of gets swept up by Willie. And
I couldn't
just-
figure out what his job was because he did like everything. He's like, I'm a reporter. Now I'm an accountant. Now I'm the secrets keeper. And now I'm just
Yeah.
like, because they're like, we need a college man. I'm just like, college doesn't teach you all this. Believe me, I know.
He was like the researcher, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he was a researcher. He's like, I had a background in research too. I'm just like,
I did like his arc though, and the kind of playing with his what he's thinking of the situation where it ends up, and you're like, oh wow, that's right. I thought the ending was going to be very different because he's trench coat up. I was like, he's doing it. It's him. And I thought at the end it was going to show him like pull out, showing that he was planning on it, but
dynamite.
Not what happened. But I thought he did a good job, the actor.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
I do like how he gets all disillusioned by what he thought were like the best of the best. And it turns out they had stuff, dirt on them too.
Same story. Yeah.
And then I know Jared has a lot to say about Anne, but we'll keep that for when we get into the plot. Okay, so let's get in here. Since it's on YouTube, we can actually see it as we go by.
Oh.
So I actually want to change this up. Okay. So okay, that's better. Okay, so we talked about Jack. He is a newspaper guy. His boss is really creepy, man.
That dude is the crypt keeper. Like, he's like, you must go and find. It's like, oh, he's sending him on a quest. So
there's big news about this guy running for county treasurer down in some unnamed state, an unnamed or fictional county, and he's like, get your butt down there and see what's going on. So he does, and we get introduced to Willie Stark, and he's kind of giving the speeches and talking about how he's for the common man, and he wants to run for treasurer because he thinks everyone's corrupt, and then they go into this. I don't know what this was. I didn't really catch what these guys were. I just know they kind of run the town.
So those guys, weirdly enough, I just finished a video about something but very similar. So each one of those guys is a county commissioner of a certain thing. So they're all like overseeing parts of the town, and they're basically running the town.
So there was a scene where he giving off like pamphlets, him and his son, and they like arrested him, and you can't do this. So they take him in to see these guys who kind of run the town, and they're like, well, we'll help you. We believe in free speech, they're giving them. So Jack meets them because he wants to interview Willie, and they're like, why do you want to interview that fool? Let's see, where is he? I think we can actually introduce to some characters that come back later. So he goes home with the folks to eat with them, and we meet Willie's wife and his dad, and his son actually too comes in. Let's see if we can find that part. Oh, he's loving this chicken bone, man. He is going to town on this food. Okay, here's his son. Tommy, right? Tommy's his son.
Yeah, I didn't expect an older kid. I expected a younger kid when they were talking about him.
Well, he said he was 15, but he does not look 15.
That is a man.
Yeah, he does not look 15. So he came in and he's like all like beaten up and stuff, and he's like, "What happened?" And he's like, I got ambushed, and because he was handing out those pamphlets, right? So they're strong arming these guys because they really don't want Willie. He also mentions that he hasn't been to college, so he's like thinking about going back to college. And when we see that, eventually he becomes a lawyer. So yeah, Jack writes some articles because he really wants to go on vacation, right? He didn't really want to go see Willie. He was just kind of doing this just to get the vacation because he really wants to see his girl who lives in some town, and
I think
he
he said
had the right.
Florida, right?
I don't know because it seems like they're in the same state. I don't know.
Well, so we never
So
really learned where this is, right?
no, and they do that on purpose. They don't want us to know. So he writes those articles, and the guy likes them, and they kind of take off. And he goes, and it turns out Willie actually loses the race. And there's Anne. We're introduced to Anne, who's his main squeeze.
They're squeezing right now.
They're squeezing right. They squeeze right in front of her uncle. Like Jared's like, you didn't even say you could. So they go to a dinner party, and this guy playing the piano is Anne's brother, Adam, right?
A doctor.
Yeah, he's a doctor, and everyone's having a good time until they sit down to dinner. And then this guy, who is this guy? This guy,
The judge, right?
is he the judge? Because there's like two judges, and then there's like,
Well, there's like the other judge and then the Stamford judge, who's like their uncle, right?
Yeah, their uncle. Because
Okay.
their parents had died, and the uncle took him in. So this guy, he don't like Willie at all, and he's very like the party above the people, right? He doesn't the status quo. He doesn't want the hillbillies to take over government.
The Hicks.
Yeah. So this is their uncle.
Yes,
Hello,
my
uncle.
bad.
Hello, uncle. And then where's the
Hi, other
part?
uncle.
Okay, this part was weird because this is their dad, right? In the picture, you can't really see it.
He's like, "What are you doing to my daughter there?" And
Yeah.
Why does he vaguely look like Walt Disney?
Yeah, I was
They
thinking.
start making out in front of the dad. The dad was a governor, right? He was a politician too.
See, if that was me, I'd be like, "All right, now we can make
It's a
out."
lot harder to put that picture down than like one on like a nightstand you see in movies. So like, just lift it from the wall. And put it over here.
Excuse me, honey.
So we see that Jack really respects these guys, and he wants to make something of himself because he tried to be a doctor. He didn't really like that. And she's like, "What are you gonna do, man?" And he's like, "I don't know. I kind of like being a journalist." And she's like, "Oh, I want you to like be something." And he's like, "No, just come with me, and we'll eat beans and stuff like that." Um, so yeah, he tells him that Willie lost. So we see there's kind of like a montage of Willie getting better. Yeah. So he goes back to school. He becomes a lawyer.
It's like the Rocky montage for nerds.
Yeah, Rocky for politician.
Although that was the weakest like throw of a piece of paper I've ever seen. He's just like,
So, and then this happens. Some kids are going down the stairs.
okay. Did anybody else like
And then
laugh at this part? Like, just like
Sure.
the abrupt like horrificness of this
I was just more like, I was like, did that actually happen? Like, yes, everyone has died. Oh my gosh.
Jared was terrified.
And I was like, holy crap. That's my worst fear. Realized.
and then it just cuts to the funeral. You're just like, oh,
Yeah, and Willie's there, and they're like, "Dude, this wouldn't happen if Willie was in charge." And everyone's like, "Willie."
not really an appropriate response to the funeral.
They want Willie.
So he gets all kinds of. He starts doing speeches at places, and he gets all kinds of press. The Jack's boss tells him, "You got to get back down there because there's a lot of stuff happening." So these guys, so there is a governor race going on, and Joe is over here, and he's stupid, and they hate him, but they don't think he can win. So they're like, "Well, let's get like someone to split the ticket." And they're like, "Who do we get?" And we go get a hick, someone we can control, someone who's dumb, and that's Sadie. I don't know what she's doing. She's like running the campaign or something, or she's the spy to make sure Willie's doing what they want. Willie, Jack had visited Willie, right? And he's like, "Hey, are you gonna run for governor? He's like, no, I think I'll just be a lawyer and make some money. And then the people come and they're like, you're running for governor. Um, yeah, so he does, and it turns out Willie's not very good at first. He's just kind of boring and he bores everyone, which is kind of weird because he was okay in the beginning when he was running for treasurer, and now he's got bored. And Jack's trying to like tell him, "Hey, man, you got to do something. You got to, speak from the heart or something." And Sadie comes in and she like alcohols him up. And so they're trying to get Willie to actually commit to this.
Jack makes friends with that random lesbian. Like, hey,
And then okay, so they're off to the fair or whatever this is. This county barbecue. It's a picnic, right? So it's a barbecue picnic.
it's a hell of a
And
picnic with a Ferris wheel.
Willie is drunk or hungover, right? And they give him a little hair of the dog. That was kind of creepy. He's just like drinking with these kids on a swing.
A different time, Joseph.
Those kids were kind of creepy. They were just like standing there like,
Luckily, they didn't have social media back then because that would have ended it real fast.
Canceled.
Yeah, so he gets up on stage and
this guy starts crooning at him.
Had to be you. No. So Willie's got a speech and he's like, "The heck with it! I don't want to. I'm gonna start calling everyone Hicks and."
He's like, you're a hick.
Yeah, you're over there. You're a hick. So he gets the crowd like really into it, and he's like, "You know what? We're hicks and we're proud, and we're done being stepped on." And this is probably my favorite scene of the whole movie, and it happened real fast. So
did you
there's some
say it happened one night?
it happened one day. So there's a montage, and he just keeps doing his fire branding stuff, and he's winning over the locals, and he's actually, getting close in the race, and everyone's freaking out. The guys that they put him in there originally just to upset the other guy, but he's like winning. He visits Jack's family, or I don't know, family, extended family, and he impresses them, especially Anne. Anne's like, "Ooh, this guy is different." Did that bother you, Jared?
No, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, tell me when you're gonna go. um, so he actually ends up losing.
That's terrifying.
Where's his shirt?
Where's his shirt?
In the poster, it looks like he's coming out of a milk bath naked.
Oh,
so he actually ends up losing that race, but he like tells Jack, he's like, "You know what? Figured out how to win.
I know how to win."
And I think we went a little forward. I think he already won. But yeah, so he figured out how to win. So by that he means, he greases people's hands, and he starts making deals and stuff like that. So that's how he thought he win. So he does win governor. In this scene, he's like, "I'm the governor. I'll do what I want. You guys can't stab me."
Starts getting a secret police and everything. You're like, whoa.
He's like, unlimited power.
I
am the Senate.
Tommy's a football player. And Willie had built the stadium because he built stadiums and hospitals and all that. Jack, he was on the road because he couldn't find a job, but Willie brought him back to be his like researcher. He's working for him. We found out that Willie likes the ladies. Not too interested in his old lady anymore. He's got new ladies, including Sadie. Man, he gets with everyone in this movie.
Perfect.
He's a different guy.
Where are we at? So this scene, this guy had to upset Willie.
Looks like he's upset.
He's an old. So Willie like puts the hammer down and makes him sign like a resignation letter, and he's like, "I'll use that when I need to." The judge comes in and he doesn't kind of like this. He's like, "This kind of sucks. I didn't sign up for this." So he like resigns. Look at Jack, and then Willie's like, "Find some dirt on him." And he's like, Jack doesn't really want to do that because he like really likes the guy. Where else? Look at Jack. He's all sad. Sad Jack. Then and we get the hints that Anne and him are already like fooling around. The Pillsbury has been quashed, Jared.
What am I gonna do without those biscuits?
uh, so Jax goes back to the old Burden's Landing. He's got to find some dirt. This is kind of where he, he's
Gets it
asking,
confirmed that him and
Yeah.
Anne have been seeing each other.
even though they've been seeing each other.
She's just a haw.
And he wants, they want Adam to run the hospital, right? But Adam doesn't really like Willie, so he's very hesitant.
I actually really like this scene.
Yeah,
Mostly
so
just, the guy that played Adam did a really good job on his monologue.
Anne really wants him to run the hospital, and she can't like understand why he doesn't want to.
Is
So
this where
she
she
kinda-
throws a fit and runs out the door?
Yeah, she gets all mad at him.
She throws that glass really weird too. She's like,
No one can throw.
Yeah, no one can throw in this movie.
Yeah, she gets all upset and she like runs upstairs and he runs after her. Jack looks at the judge and he's just like, I'm disappointed in you. So Jack goes and researches some stuff, talks to Sadie. All right, what were they talking about? Oh, Jack had found this stuff, but he doesn't want to release it.
yeah.
He decides, I'm gonna wait and see what happens because they're trying to impeach old Willie. And then we're at the football field, and Willie is, upset. Tommy is not following the coach's rules, and this makes Willie upset because he wants him to be a star. But Tommy's just like, I'm too cool for this. Tommy gets drunk, driving real fast with this girl. And then they kind of like tip over. They tip over the car. They say they hit a tree. I don't find evidence of this. They just kind of tip over and everyone's spilled out of the car. And we find out that she's badly injured. Tommy's kind of all right. He's got concussion probably. But the dad comes and he's like, you killed my daughter, or your son was drunk. And Willie's like, that wasn't on the police report, because they got it fixed, so it doesn't look like he was drunk driving. But Tommy admits it. He's like, yeah, I was drunk driving. And, the dad, he tries to bribe the dad. He's like, what business do you do? I'm a trucker. He's like, oh, there's a lot of stuff we could do for truckers, right? Who just fell?
Willie.
Willie.
He's drunk.
Willie fell?
Yeah. He was drinking.
Guys, Willie has fallen.
The Willie is down.
So yeah, the girl ends up dying, so it's a big scandal. So Willie thinks to get rid of this, he wants Tommy to play in the game because he's like, Tommy could play, he wasn't drunk. They need to see him out there. Tommy's hurting. He doesn't really want to go out there because he's like, his vision's like blurring and stuff like that. And even Jack's like, maybe he shouldn't go out there. And then Tommy gets smacked. He gets like 2 guys tackle him and he's hurt. So they're like, we got to take him to the hospital. They go to the hospital. This guy right here is named like Sugar, and he's brought him sandwiches because they got to eat.
Sugar boy.
Those are really tall bags.
Yeah, man. Those big sandwiches back then. Tommy's in the hospital. They have to operate. One of the guys is Adam, happens to do it. And, he's waiting for the specialist, but they need to operate now. And like, he tries to bribe Adam. He's like, do your best job and I'll make you, I'll do anything for you. And the mom tells him to operate. Jack and Anne finally have it out because this is where he like, why did you do it? He shows her the papers from the judge, right? And he's like, I have the dirt, but I'm not going to use it. Anne's like, I really like Willie because he's different. I mean, Jack's like, oh, different from me? And she's like, yeah. So they get the hospital bill. Adam agreed to it, even though he didn't really want to. They make a movie about Willie, and he's like, I don't really like the end where you call me the devil or something. um, and they're like, that's just how we're gonna do it. He's like, oh yeah, and they're like, yeah. They go back for some press. He goes to the family, tries to make it look good for the cameras. They barely see him anymore. They're just like stuck on this farm, and he does whatever he wants. But then they get the radio announcement that he's going to be impeached. So he's like, "Oh, we got to get back to town. We got to take Tommy, put him in the wheelchair, and shut up."
Let's roll him out of here.
Yeah. What else? So we're going through the impeachment stuff. We'll go real fast. The end's pretty fast. Oh, okay, this is important. They go visit. They need the votes, right? And they go visit the judge. And it turns out, well, Jack, they send in Jack first so he can like sweet talk the judge. That doesn't work. Willie comes in and he's like, hey, got some dirt on you, Judge. And Jack's like, he's like, what? How did you get the dirt? He's like, keeps telling him, how'd you get the dirt, man? And it turns out the judge, he can't bear it. And where is it? I guess it already happened, but the judge, doesn't. Oh, here it is. So they find the judge dead in his room because he didn't want to go through the scandal of whatever they were going to release. We don't even know what they were going to release. So Adam, he's like there with his uncle, and it turns out that Anne had given up the dirt. Good old Anne, man, for the man she loves. She's like, oh, we're going to get married. We're going to get through this.
He's already married, you whore.
Jack's like, he can't take it anymore. He's going to leave. And then it's the day of the trial. And Jack goes there. He's worried about Adam, right? Because he's like, hey, have you guys seen Adam? And they're like, no, we haven't seen him. And look at that old man.
We want
so much hope.
The trial goes like all night, and he's got a crowd with them waiting, and they're like intimidating the other people. And Willie comes out, and he wins, and they announce it to the crowd. He's won, and everyone's happy. And then it ends.
And then a hero appears.
Adam, he did make it there, and Jack was worried about because he thought this would happen. So Adam, he pulls out a gun and he shoots Willie down.
And then Adam gets absolutely ventilated by
demolished.
More holes than person left.
Because the bodyguard Sugar was there, and he had his gun. And then,
dude, he shot the whole thing, and like Willie's like such a wimp too. Like oh, he's down. Adam took all 6 shots from that revolver, and then the police lineup started like the Thompson's machine guns are. He's like, oh. It's like that scene in Acura at the very beginning.
So yeah, Adam and Willie, they meet their demise, and at the end, Jack tells, we gotta tell the truth to everyone. Everyone's gotta know what Willie really was. and Willie gives his last words to Jack, and he's like, what? He's like, it could have been,
I could have done more.
Yeah, he wanted to be president, so he's kind of disappointed he's dead.
Darn it. Too soon,
Darn it,
guys.
I died. Okay, so that was all the King's Men. What'd you guys think of the movie when you finished it and poor Willie's demise?
Poor Willie. Should have been saved.
Should have been saved.
I mean, this one was not that good for me. I didn't really enjoy it all that much. Honestly, I thought it was kind of boring, to be honest. And that's me saying it. And I love old movies, but I just like, there's just nothing like super special about it. I just didn't really get invested in the story. The acting at times was really good, but overall just wasn't that great. And especially when you had like really good movies out this year. I mean, that's an Academy thing though. Like, but I don't know. It's very meh to me. I mean, I didn't outright hate it like some of the ones that we've watched, but I would never watch this again. So
yeah, I was curious because half the movie, I won't lie, I was playing Donkey Kong. But I was like, am I missing something? Because I kept looking at reviews and everyone, Letterboxd has a 3.6 average. Everything's usually or above good. I was like, I was just utterly bored with the whole thing. I didn't care about any of the characters. Like the pacing was weird and like, the weird time skips of like, oh, I lost again, but I know how to win. So we're going to do a montage time till I win. And like, there's no like what is the point of this movie? I don't get it. Like, I guess, like you said, it was based on that some real politician dude, but I had so little interest in him or any of the characters. And then, yeah, I don't know. I think, I agree with you. I didn't hate it. I was like, there's nothing bad about this movie. It's just fine. It's like, whatever. It's just,
I'm shocked the fact that it was like over 200 minutes. I'm just like, of what?
Dude,
could you imagine?
No, God, no.
We do not need the Snyder cut of this.
Yeah. Well, the pacing was an issue with this movie just in general. It was only an hour and 40. I was like, oh, thank God. But
I was, because I played Donkey Kong and then I was making my lunches, but I was waiting for my chicken to marinate a little bit. So I went and started like prepping my chicken. And then I clicked the thing. I was like, oh, it's got to be almost done. I'll go outside and grow my chicken. Pressed it. Still 40 minutes left. It was like 30 minutes. I was like, are you kidding me? How are there still 30 minutes of the movie left?
That's what Jared texted me today. He's like, how's there 45 minutes left?
No, the only text I got from Jared was like, you've watched the movie, right? He's like, yeah. He's like, I'm not fond of Anne.
Anne's a PC.
Dude, time in Mata Hari. Yeah,
why do you hate Anne so much, Jared?
She's a terrible person. They're all, well, not all, but there's some bad people.
Jared, I'm just like, nobody's really a person in this movie, to be honest with you. So
Jack felt like he was being a good person in the beginning. Oh, I'm going to help this little loner hick man help the people. And I was also very confused in the beginning. I was like, what are they standing for? Like, I mean, you get the whole like mob running kind of whatever the heck it is, but I was like, I don't really understand what you. I guess like you said, just so they kept like the place neutral, and I guess they kept the politics a little neutral, so you're just looking at the people. But I guess it makes sense. But I was just like, I don't know or care what any of you are doing.
Yeah, I mean, who's that passionate about county treasure?
I don't know.
I guess this was a different time. I guess that's why people really.
I
mean, I don't know how long so Huey Long, that guy from Louisiana, kind of the same life. He was a governor and then a senator, and he was a populist, so that meant he was for the poor people, but he was also like more extreme than FDR, and he was going to beat FDR.
I'll say, aka communists. So.
Yeah. So and he ended up being assassinated as well by, I think it was a son-in-law or something like that. But no, son-in-law of someone he wronged or something like that. But,
oh, okay. I was just like,
not
dang,
you chose wrong, doctor.
But yeah, I'm pretty much in agreement with you guys. There's nothing bad. There's nothing like great. There was no like
Yeah.
scene where I'm like, wow. And then Willie's turn is not that surprising because they kind of
He
hint
was
at
never,
it.
yeah, he was never really up and up in the first place. Like, really.
Yeah, they kind of hint that he's just kind of power hungry the whole time. And then that scene with his son where he kind of gets mad at the son for, you know, being a wimp or something like that. He's like, speak up, and stuff like that. So he's not very nice to his family. Um, so it's just you're watching a downfall of a guy you didn't really care about in
Yeah.
the first place. So it's not like Breaking Bad or anything, but I don't know. I guess if you were closer to that time, maybe. And I mean, we're so used to politics and politicians being bad that doesn't really shock us or anything. So
That's the thing, is like things haven't changed really.
Yeah.
So, but I don't know. And again, like there were way better movies that year than this movie, to be honest with you. So it's kind of a shame that this one lost out. I mean, even 12 O'Clock High with Gregory Peck, that's way better than this movie. Also, the guy that played Jack is like a discount Gregory Peck. Like it's like he wants to be him, but he's not.
He was weird because he would just like walk around with his hands in his pockets the whole time.
That's why I thought he was
kind
the guy
of
with the
float
gun, because he's just
around.
like going up the stairs.
Yeah,
So I was
especially
like,
at the very end scene where he's like in a full trench coat and he's just like, it's like, oh,
that's what I 100% expected. And also, like, they have the where he comes out like, oh, we got to deliberate, but we're gonna be forever. Jack's on the steps, and then it cuts to night, and Jack's still on the steps. I'm like, have you not moved in like 6 or 7 hours? Dude? Just sitting there in his trench coat. It's like, reveal my gun, but never had one.
But yeah, just a very okay movie. I mean, I could see like this being shown to like film students and go like, this is how you like make a film, but make something a little more interesting. So it was competently made. Like,
yeah, like I said, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just
No,
not
it's
enjoyable to
not.
watch,
Boring,
or
yeah.
interesting, or
It just doesn't do anything
Yeah,
to
it's
make
like-
it stand out.
yeah, nothing.
well, and that's the thing too. Like, even our bad ones, like besides Broadway Melody, I will never ever touch that movie ever again. Even some of our bad movies were actually like kind of enjoyable because like
So like,
what
wow,
is it?
that's quaint.
Yeah, well, like
And Yancey, remember
Yancey, Shiveron. Yeah,
Yes.
Yancey was just like Yancey was like the main character. We're just like, this is awesome. Like he can do no wrong. But we didn't even have that, and so it was just very.
But I was looking at the cast for this movie. Is like I have never heard of any of these people.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that can't be a good sign.
And so I just, this one just did not stick with me at all. A very kind of a meh one to end the 40s on, unfortunately. So,
Yeah.
but we do have the 50s coming up, and that's pretty exciting. There's some good ones in there.
Yeah, we'll be back with 1950, and we start with All About Eve. So
I've seen that movie.
you've seen that one.
It's a good one.
So the rest of us will watch it and tell you if it was a good one. But if any last words before we head out? Nope.
Poor Willie.
Don't be
Pour one out for Willie.
don't be a Willie man.
All right, like, subscribe, and notify yourself for even more good stuff, and we'll see you next time. Bye.